you're thinking about house hacking and you want to know some of the tips and tricks that are going to save you a lot of money, maybe let's say tens of thousands of dollars like they did for me, well, this is the perfect video for you. We're going to be going over 7 tips that saved me literally tens of thousands of dollars. One of the tips, I kid you not, saved me over $30,000 in one weekend alone. I'm going to be going over it all, and a lot of these tips I'm using today, I've used throughout my house hacking experience, and I'm here to help you learn these things so you can be on the fast track to your financial goals. All right, let's get this show started right away. My name's Sean McIntyre. I'm the house hacking realtor of Northern New Jersey, and I'm here to reduce the failure rate of new investors coming in today's market. I love making videos like this, so if you want to be on your fast track to financial freedom, yeah, hit subscribe. Live in the worst unit. Okay, that's pretty basic, right? Don't worry, these things are gonna get a little more complex as we go on. You probably heard about this one before. I mean, that's what house hack is all about. You don't wanna live in the 4-bedroom, 2-bath while you're renting out the 1-bedroom, 1-bath. You're probably not gonna make as much money. So I'd say move into the 1-bedroom, rent out the 4-bedroom, because you're gonna get more money. Live in the worst unit, one that needs updating, one that needs renovating. That's where you wanna be. You wanna be in there doing the value add while you're collecting more rental income, because at the end of the day, the more rental income you're going to collect, the more money you're gonna save. It's really basic stuff here on this first one, right? I think you can agree with that one. And if you don't agree, well, I don't know, share something else with me. But at the end of the day here, I'm gonna say live in the worst unit is so crucial when doing this. Next is gonna be lending. So crucial with this whole experience is getting low money down loans. I will say this, if you're gonna go put $20,000 down to buy a property, you can do that, not a big deal, but you also need to make sure you have liquid cash left over to renovate the property. So whatever you're doing, whether you're doing a low money down loan or you're doing a 20 or 30% down loan, whatever it is, you just wanna make sure you have money left over to renovate, put into the property, increase the value, because you're essentially paying yourself when you renovate a property. So I love things like updating kitchens, updating bathrooms, doing all that kind of stuff, because I kid you not, I put $20,000 into a kitchen, I'm probably getting $40,000 or $50,000 back in equity. So I like that mentality of keep as much liquid cash in your pocket so you pay yourself to renovate. All right, moving along here. Hey, by the way, just got a new Costco 3/4 zip today. If you're into Costco, drop a comment below. I am, and I'm super excited, so this is a fun video. Hey, if you need help with lending and you want to get some really awesome house hacking loans, why don't you shoot me a text and write lending? I will get back to you right away. If not, it might be a little delayed, but I will get back to you, and I will make sure to get you house hacking style loans. All right, that is house hacking style loans, not just like random loans that anyone gives out. I'm gonna give you house hacking style loans. So if you have any lending questions, shoot me a text. Make sure you text the word lending to that number, and I will make sure to get back to you. All right, moving along here. We're gonna do some tax advantages. So what's so great about this, and one of the biggest things that you'll learn is, especially in today's market where maybe you find a property, you're breaking even, you're not exactly making as much money, that actually tends to be really good at the end of the year, because most of the time you're gonna get some money back with your taxes, because now you're gonna be having rental income and you get to really write things off in different ways. So this is always a conversation you wanna have with your accountant, but I've found over the years that house hackers tend to get really, really good tax advantages. So the taxes that you see at the end of the year tend to be really good and work in a positive way. But like I said, it's always gonna be a conversation you're gonna have with your accountant, but they tend to benefit very, very nicely. So that's a huge plus that you get with all this. When you get to tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, I can tell you a story really fast is my first, and this is how I learned it. Like I said, everything I like to share is real life examples, not just guesswork. Our first year I did taxes as a house hacker, I ended up going through TurboTax, one of the bigger national entities, and I was gonna have to pay something like $3,000. But I ended up going and meeting with an accountant, and one of my lenders I was working with at the time introduced me to my accountant, and literally she got us about $8,000 back. So that was a difference of $11,000, 11K, boom. All right, that's a pretty big difference from going to owe $3,000 to get $8,000 back. So I will say that the tax advantages of this are definitely very something much you want to look into a little bit more, which is fun. Love it. Moving along here, I'm getting to that big $30,000 price tag. That one weekend I literally saved $30,000, which is just wild. Getting to that one a little bit, so stick around. But till we get there, I'm gonna say over renovating, yeah, that's a huge problem I see people doing all the time. They spend a lot of money and go excessive where you don't necessarily have to do all these things. I can tell you this much, I've got really high-end rentals that still have window air conditioning units, meaning the tenants have to provide the window AC, put it in, take it down, put it in. There's no central air, and it's getting just as much money as the newly renovated property down the street that has the central air and everything else. I mean, I'm just using central air as an example, but to put in a central air system in a house, that's something like $20,000, $30,000, $20,000, $30,000.
$20,000, $30,000.
So you don't necessarily get higher rents just because you think you're putting in this really high-end product. People will still pay top dollar for having basic things like no air conditioning that's centralized. So just something to think about there. So don't overspend when freaking renovating, okay? For questions about that, by all means, always drop a comment below. It's a really good time. This is a really good time to comment and say, should I be doing X, Y, Z? It might involve a deeper conversation, but you know, if you come out and say, hey, do I want to put gold knobs on all my drawers? I'm probably gonna tell you no, you know? So if you have a comment on something like that, why don't you drop it below? Happy to answer it for you. This one's huge, absolutely love it. It's gonna be run your property like a business. This is huge because look, if you have you fall to the level of the systems that you have in place. If you don't have a system in place, you're gonna, you know, probably not be in the best place a year from now. You wanna work on your systems. Make sure you have ways of collecting the rent, ways of screening tenants, a lease to fall back on, all these types of things. Most importantly, what's super crucial about this is once you do have your systems in place, you get to save a huge amount. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm saving tens of thousands of dollars every year right now by this next example I'm about to give. But before I give it, make sure you click subscribe if you like everything you're hearing, you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening house hacking in northern New Jersey or house hacking on a large level. This is still beneficial for anyone, regardless of New Jersey or California, doesn't make a difference. But something that is super crucial with this is if you have your systems in place, you do not have to hire a property manager. And that is such a huge savings because property managers are essentially gonna take anywhere from 7, 8, maybe 10% of every monthly payment to manage the property. And really 90% of what they're doing is screening tenants and doing the work up front because they have the system in place. So if you can learn the system or reach out to people like me that have systems in place or work with people like me that have systems in place, you'll get it all for free because you're a client of mine. That is where you're gonna be a major game changer. You're gonna save a lot of money every year because you have to pay a property manager to do this. It's a big chunk of change you have to pay every single year, and I don't want to see you paying it when you can learn to do it yourself and really kick ass with it. All right, this one's basic. Rental income offsets mortgage. Yeah, rental income offsetting mortgage, that one's pretty basic. I think that's why you're doing house hacking, but look, I gotta throw it in there because that's such an awesome way to save money. I mean, what's better than that? Having a tenant pay the bulk of your mortgage or multiple tenants, or maybe you get creative, maybe you rent out your garage space, maybe you do all other things, maybe your midterm rental, college rental, whatever it is you're doing. But the goal is to get that rental income to offset a good portion of the mortgage. And that is something you can see, especially in today's market, even with the high interest rates, you still see people getting their mortgages substantially covered from rental income. So that's still happening in a time like today when, you know, there's higher interest rates. So house hacking is still rolling and moving strong. So let's keep it going. All right, getting down to the last one, but before I do, if you ever have any questions, concerns, you can reach out to me. I'll put my contact information in the description below. Shoot a text. I get phone calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to buy, sell, and invest in northern New Jersey. And I got people in all 50 states I lend house hacking loans to. So whether you're watching from California or you're looking to actually house hack in New Jersey, it doesn't make a difference. Reach out. I put that in the description below. I'd love to sit down and have a face-to-face with you before we dive deep on this last one that literally saved me $30,000 in one freaking weekend. Man, Oh, I love this one. This is so good. But anyway, I'm always here to have conversations, learn a little bit more about your needs, and help out any way I can so you can get the financial freedom, because I don't want to see you pay the stupid tax that my wife and I had to pay. We had to learn all this stuff the hard way ourselves, so we're here to accelerate it for you. All right, plain and simple. Hire right, learn the basics. Hire right. Okay. Hire right, learn the basics. Look, at the end of the day, you're not gonna do everything on your own. Even if you are extremely handy, you're still probably not gonna do things on your own all the time, because you know at the end of the day, it's a little bit more lucrative to hire out and have someone else do it. But there's certain things you definitely aren't gonna do. The way I always look at it is things like, you know, do you really wanna learn how to replace a furnace? Probably not, because you shouldn't be having furnaces crap out too frequently. You know, the furnaces go every 30 to 40, they're actually getting more efficient, sometimes 50 plus years before you have to replace one. So like, do you really want to learn how to replace a furnace? No, but you might want to learn how to replace a window, because that was the big ticket item that literally saved me $30,000. I had to replace all the windows in our property. I moved in, I did not have much money to our name at that point, and I got the quote for windows and I was in shock. I was like, no freaking way. This is gonna cost us $35,000 to replace windows. I had to replace 20 of them. Well, you know, I ended up learning the basics through networking, being around other real estate investors. Went to my buddy's house, he showed me how to replace a window. I got the tools, I got everything together, and for something like $5,000, $6,000, whatever it was, I bought all the windows and put them in 1 weekend. So it saved me $30,000. I don't know what you're doing on a weekend, but you know, there's a lot, that huge debate of, is it worth your time and money to do things yourself? Well, for me it was, because I literally saved a lot of cash, put all the windows in, got really nice windows. They're still there today, kicking butt, really good design. So I learned the basics, and I know it's not always easy to do this stuff, but sometimes when you get a price tag that's that high, you get motivated, and that's what it was for me. I'm like, how am I gonna do this myself? But I had to figure a way, because I did not have the cash to pay out. But when I do pay out and I find a contractor, I make sure I vet the crap out of them, because the last thing you want to do is get someone that's just gonna do it, either do it twice or do it the wrong way. You don't want to go into any of that kind of stuff, and that's going to save you a lot of money. So I'd say learn the basics, hire out the things that you know you probably shouldn't be learning. All right. Hey, I hope this video helps, and for more videos like this, make sure to click subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in northern New Jersey and for house hacking, because we're all in this together. We're all trying to get the financial freedom, and I want to see you get the financial freedom. All right, see you on the next video, or just watch this video right here.